Listen to the silence. Let it penetrate your soul. Hold on to the quiet, and if you try it, you will know that silence is a gateway to our own inmost parts, that in the silence we can't help but see the depths of our own hearts. Some of us spend our lives in silence. Others just spend time trying to hide and deprive themselves of the truth inside their minds. There's a reason why silence is uncomfortable. There's a reason so many avoid it. When something shows us we're not what we'd hoped, it's no wonder we try to destroy it. Just come look at the string of lies I've spun to make myself feel adequate. The web got so convoluted, it's almost elegant the way that I fashioned it. You don't know the half of it, is what I spat at those who would question it. Anger became my ambulance. It would rescue my heart every time I wrestled with the silence. But then again, I guess rescue isn't the best choice of word. It's absurd now to think that those bursts of rage ever rescued me from anything. I mean, sure, they'd curb the pain. But 2/3 of the time, even that was in vain because of the burden they left in its place. What remained was a chain of shame and regret that I still find it hard to face to this day. My grave, the place where I buried my song. My headstone read, "Here lies a man who died alone. This heart had grown as cold as the daggers of ice that were thrown at me through the chosen words of others. Enemies, friends, family. Regardless of their intention, I had no direction left to run. I mean, come on, not even one? God, not even one place of safety. Was it too much to ask for to have one shelter from the storm, one place where I could run for a soft touch to keep me warm? But every blessing comes with pain. Every stronghold that I found in an attempt to hold back the rain left me exposed to slings and arrows that would aim to have me slain. With every new attack, the silence grew until I was suffocating under a veil of black extending from my own heart. Every voice was one I knew, and their words, too, were ones I recognized. They were lies that I've bought so many times that they became ingrained in my very being. Disguised as truth, they pumped through my veins, delivering poison to every organ. So resilient that the flow sustained even when the words changed. I came into a new place where on the surface, people said things like, "Be yourself." And it worked for a term. I bandaged the hurts and put salve on the burns, but the final purpose it served was to show me that myself was still worthless. If I wanted to work this thing called life, I had to purchase a new personality. The one I had couldn't get a wife, would never be a father, could never build a life. I was introduced to a new word, immature. The catch-all when they weren't sure what you were, but they knew that in their diagnosis, you were closer to sickness than cure. I was taught to think severity was to be equated with maturity. There seemed to be this thought that only a child ever smiled, and maybe they were right. But it caused a lot of pain and insecurity when I realized maturity was something out of sight. You see, smiling had become how I coped with pain. Laughter was how I grieved. Joy was how I'd kiss the wounds and try to heal the broken parts of me. But those who learn quick, they say. And I am no exception. I learned that candor doesn't pay, and to bottle up rejection till it blows. That's what I chose. And just before I closed the door to the shattered pieces left on the floor of my soul, I chose one thing more. I chose to leave. I chose to leave my hopes and dreams as they started to rot beneath the splintered beams that had once held them aloft. I chose to leave the thought of ever finding love, because love was a notion only kept by those who were above the unwritten status that I was apparently born into. My heart was torn beyond repair. But then I stopped. Just as I was about to seal it there, a crippled organ that could no longer beat, the last part of my humanity, forever abandoned to defeat, I saw you. So the door stayed open. In spite of the loss of everything that I had put my hope in, the one thing I could not bring myself to abandon was you.